wow. Grand opening, grand closing. Adam22 has been receiving back-to-back reality checks about exactly how the public feels about him and his platform, No Jumper. It started with the staged divorce he attempted to pull off with his wife Lena, and the internet showed him absolutely zero sympathy. No one felt sorry for him. If anything, the response was the complete opposite. People laughed, and the general consensus was that he had it coming. Now, just 2 weeks later, Adam22 has been forced to cancel his No Jumper live show, and the reason is as straightforward as it gets. Nobody bought tickets. We're talking literally 1 ticket sold per day. At that pace, Adam eventually threw everything he had at the problem, trying to turn things around. He expanded the lineup, announced a boxing match between himself and 4 Extra, and even promised free weed to every single person who showed up. But none of it made a difference. Not one of those additions moved the needle. After a full month of non-stop promotion, Adam22 had only managed to sell around 50 tickets total. Yesterday, during a No Jumper broadcast, Adam had no choice but to face the audience and come clean. Here's what he said.
For those of you out there who know me, when you saw us doing an Instagram reel of us dancing to promote the live show, if you know me, you might have thought that indicates that this live show is not selling so well. Because really, I probably would have preferred to not have to do a TikTok dance. We had sold, I believe, like 30 tickets. Okay. So we do a couple of different reels.
Not quite Drake numbers.
We go out of our way to promote it on the podcast repeatedly. We're hoping that we can see a little bit of motion. It's really not moving too much. I announce that 607 Unk is going to be the headline, or is going to be the opener along with King Yella. Still doesn't really change things. The numbers are looking not great in terms of ticket sales. We announce that Hater World is also going to be added to opening up the podcast. At the same time, we announce that me and 4 Extra are going to be doing our first podcast back together. On the live show.
That's dope.
We announced at one point that we're going to be giving away a free 1/8 of weed to everybody who goes to the live podcast. Really, none of this really moved the needle in any meaningful way. And actually this morning I hit up Josh for the count. Where are we at? I think he said we're somewhere around like 45, and that basically the promoter didn't want to, or basically felt like we hadn't sold enough tickets to continue on with this. Now, there was part of me that was like, maybe today we talk about it on this podcast, and maybe that is enough to, get people in motion and like people buy more tickets or whatever. Like, okay, apparently this was not meant to be. It's kind of amazing to me that we could have, thousands of people watching the live shows on any given day, that like everywhere I go, I feel like I'm famous as shit, and people are just coming up to me everywhere we go. And that, we, on the average No Jumper show or whatever, we might have like 100,000 viewers or whatever. And that still somehow those people did not find it exciting, the idea of going to a live show. And one thing that the promoter told us, the person who was like helping us to manage this and everything, is he said, believe me, you're not alone. I guess like the market for the live podcast experience is really not great, and that a lot of these. So I guess that made me feel a little bit of like, okay, I think I'm just gonna cancel it. I thought that we had enough momentum to sell it. Turns out not so much. So I gotta wear that. I do know a popular narrative is going to be like, oh, well, Spody Face and Munchie left, so that's why it didn't really... As much as I'm a little bit let down, I thought that it was going to be a good way to sort of galvanize the community and everything. It turns out that the audience is just not really there for the live experience like the way that they were a couple of years back.
That is indicative of where No Jumper overall is as a platform, or do you feel like it's just the live shows are not cracking in general for people?
I do feel like live podcasts are not as cracking as they used to be. I do feel like a lot of podcasts like Joe Budden that used to go on tour all the time, that they're just really like not doing it anymore. Definitely like partially you have to kind of attribute it to No Jumper and say, well, like, but like from my perspective, it's like, especially when we announced it, it felt like we had a ton of momentum, that things were going very well, that there was a lot of energy on the podcast and everything. And you know, the ticket sales really kind of told a different story.
If you're Adam22, this moment should genuinely prompt some self-reflection about where your platform stands. People are still absolutely going to live shows. That part isn't the issue. The responsibility falls on you as the platform owner to give your audience a compelling reason to show up. Rory and Mal are still selling out live shows. That on Fig is still selling out live shows. The Joe Rogan podcast could sell out a venue in the middle of nowhere right now without breaking a sweat. The difference is in substance. The reality is, people tune in to No Jumper for the chaos, not because they're genuinely invested in the commentary or the perspectives being shared. The gang drama performs well on YouTube, sure, but it doesn't translate into a live event experience that people will open their wallets for. There are no real insightful takes, there's no authentic chemistry between the hosts, and it seems like every single month there's a brand new face sitting behind that desk, which means the audience never gets the chance to build a real connection with anyone on the show. So why would someone spend their hard-earned money to go see that in person? Gang content has its entertainment value on a screen, but very few people are going to pay $80 to sit in a room and watch what basically amounts to a live gang meeting. Adam, why would I hand over $80 to hear takes from someone the audience barely knows? And you know things have reached a new low when even his own co-host Lush pointed out the obvious, telling Adam directly that Lush himself has fans showing up to hear and perform, yet No Jumper, a channel sitting at 5 million subscribers, couldn't move more than 50 tickets.
Oh, hey, it's your fault.
That's just crazy because how do I have a show in Vallejo this weekend and I got 200 people tickets sold already? Like
To
in
see
Vallejo
what?
to see me.
To see
To
you
see
rap.
me rap. How come you see it? You feel me? hey, but what's funnier, that or
where's
the
the flyer? We're
Hey,
like,
what's
is there a
funnier, that or
flyer?
the cancellation? Hell yeah, there's a flyer.
But you think 200 people are going to see Lush?
They already sold the tickets.
Where's the flyer?
Here.
Oh, there she go.
I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, if I'm Adam22 sitting there listening to Lush say that, the conversation after the show is pretty short. Thanks for your time, Lush. We're going in a different direction. But on a more serious note, what this live show situation reveals is something Adam probably didn't want to confront. A significant portion of his viewership isn't actually rooting for him. A lot of those views are hate watch traffic. People are tuning in specifically hoping to watch things fall apart. So just because your videos are pulling decent numbers doesn't mean you've got a loyal, paying fan base behind you. Those are two very different things, and Adam22 clearly miscalculated that gap. And the truth is, a big chunk of the negative sentiment toward Adam has nothing to do with No Jumper's content quality. His personal life decisions have followed him into his professional reputation, and that's a combination that's genuinely hard to recover from in the court of public opinion. Strategically, if Adam wants to find a path forward, he probably needs to stop trying to force a lane that isn't working for him right now. A hip-hop live podcast event clearly isn't landing. He'd be better off leaning fully into the audience he actually has, rather than chasing one that isn't showing up. All right, let's get into the comments. Do you feel bad for Adam22 having to cancel his live show over poor ticket sales? And what do you think is the real reason it flopped? Drop your thoughts below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys next time.